Okay, I'm going to start with part 3. Basically opposite large intestine 11. Where's my dog? Here we go. Part 3. Okay. And remember, part's so easy. Part 7. Right on the crease. 6, 5, and 4. Make sure you get them real close together. So it should be 1.5 sun from 7 to 4. 1.5 sun. So they're half sun apart. Okay. Part 8. Make a loose fist. Loose. Okay. Part 8. And heart 9, the radial side of the pinky nail. Good. Heart's really easy. Okay. Small intestine. Small intestine 1, other side of the nail, the shortest jump in acupuncture. Heart 9 to small intestine 1. She just goes. Okay. Small intestine 2 and 3, like a lot of these acupuncture points, just hug the joint. Small intestine 2, small intestine 3. So. Small intestine 4. Do a little depression before you get to the wrist crease. Small intestine 5 is on the other side of there. Little, is it pisiform or whatever bone that is? I can never remember. There's 5 and 6, kind of like a broken sequence. Comes right off of, right on the prominence is fine. Small intestine 8, between the this is the olecranon and the epicondyle of the ulnar. Funny bone. Small intestine 8. Okay, let's turn you over. Pull this off? Sure. Okay, so small intestine 9, 1 sun from the axillary fold. Small intestine 10. Right up under the acromion. Small intestine 11 should form approximately an equilateral triangle between these guys. So that gives you your ballpark. You double check yourself. Spine of the scapula, thank you. 1/3, 2/3. I'm not kidding you, 1. Small intestine 11. Small intestine 12 comes right up superior border of the spine and the scapula. That's a little trapeze. Okay. And it zigs and zags, and we get to small intestine 19. Right? Center of the tragus. That's the center one. I'm sorry? 19 is tragus of the ear, right in the center. Okay. Small intestine. You want to do the bladder? You've got your back there. Yeah, sure. So bladder 2,
So we don't need to know that you're not having 13.
No,
I mean, like 12.
not for the final.
13 and 14.
Just another 9, 10, 11, and 12. So bladder 2, he's face down, so it's eyebrow, and there's part of the eyebrow, right? Bladder 2, everyone's got that? Don't need to dot them. Okay. Bladder 10. That's 1.3 cent. Is that midline?
Did he just say 1.3?
Right in the base of the skull.
Okay.
Another hair point probably won't have you do it.
It's another hair one. Are we not going to have to do
These
that
hair
one?
ones are nasty. It's like, I put it, especially somebody with really long hair. No, I was over here. Okay. So now we do our intercostal spaces. Now this for the final, because I know how tricky it is counting intercostal, or not intercostal, spine processes. It can be really confusing and tricky, and I make mistakes still. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, and sometimes I'll miscount and double check. Do the best you can. But if you're off by a vertebra, if you can tell me which vertebra you're supposed to be on, I'll probably give you at least half credit on it. Okay. So, and then if I'll double check on that. If it's like obviously a very, very tricky back, you're blessed and you get somebody who's just like the vertebrae are like impossible to count, then you'll probably get full credit if you can get it approximately right and describe where the location is. So don't let the person's back totally freak you out. Okay.
How's the exam going to be proctored with so many like partners and
Well,
only
you'll
two?
dot, just like you did in lab.
But I mean, we're given a paper and then we
You give
dot.
them a paper,
Oh,
and then
okay.
you dot,
I
and
see.
then when you're done, I'll come around, or the TA will come around and we'll check
I see.
the points.
Are you going to ask, like, what point is best for, like, a headache? Or is it just going to be, like, what is urinary bladder 23?
No, there'll be, give a point below the knee that's that comes as shin.
Okay.
And there'll be multiple possible answers there.
Right.
So that type of thing. So I'll give you kind of an area of the body to which point is, helps induce labor below the elbow. That kind of thing. It'd be pretty easy. There's not too many tricky things. Okay. So 11, lower border T1. So I'm guessing that's lower border T1, 1.5 central midline. The 3 cent is the medial border of the scapula. 1.5 central midline. Bladder 11. Bladder 12 is under T2. Bladder 13 is under T3. Now what can get tricky for your test is you won't be asked to give an entire line. Say, find bladder 18 just by itself. Because that's real world, right? Find bladder 18 just by itself. You can go, which one's bladder 18 again? You can take your time and just, you can find the other points and kind of count them, but don't dot them. And then once you get to it, then dot it. So just keep that in mind. We're doing it sequentially. You've been practicing sequentially, but in the actual final, you're going to have to pull it out of the hat and go this point, this point. It's more real world. Okay. So make sure you study before you feel comfortable doing that. Then bladder 14, lower border of T4. Bladder 15, T5. That looks like I'm off. I'm okay. So bladder 18 for 5, 6, 7, skipping 8, 9. Bladder 18 is lower border T9. 1.5 central midline. A nice little line there. Okay, bladder 20. 20 lower border of T 11, right?
Yeah.
23 lower border L2. 23. So 32 is going to be a tricky one. It probably won't do. To double check that, because it's, you know, down in the butt. People aren't going to totally want to disrobe. But it's a second sacral frame. 32. Okay, 37. Number 37. Lower border of the glute. 6 in down in the hamstring. 37. About a 40. Between two tendons. And most people have a little bulge back here, right in the popliteal fossa. It's right in the middle of that. About a 40. 41. Come all the way back up here. Low border of T2. Right. 3 cm out. 41. 42. Next one out. Again, remember you'll be dotting these in isolation. Because I can cheat because I already dotted the inner sheet one. 44. Lower border T5. 44. 47. T9. 3 cm out. 49. T11. 3 cm out. Remember that plus 29 rule in the inner shoe line? It works up still. Get to the bottom. 52. 3 cm out. 57. Magically bounce back down. It's right between, remember doing this one in lab, between the two bellies of the gastric muscle, extraneous. Bladder 60, opposite of kidney 3. Right there. 62 is opposite of kidney 6, sort of. Colors consistent. 65. Tip of the headache point. There. 66 and 67.